How's everybody doing today? Got something to do. Ninth? Someone said ninth. Just give me a couple of seconds to go through some things. I had a new um, link for BTCC that has the updated um, information on it. So I'm going to go ahead and repost that. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'll copy it. All right. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another live stream, and we're just gonna sit here and talk about what's going on in crypto, the biggest news in crypto, and obviously look at different things that we hold and see whether we're going to see some, you know, see some of those statuses that we all want, where it's becoming a multi-millionaire, becoming a millionaire, becoming honestly a person that has a decent amount of money or comfortable money. Um, I saw a video recently that I actually did a little bit of a reaction to, but the audio actually didn't get captured. And it was a billionaire talking to a bunch of regular people, whether people didn't have money or they had a little bit more money or they had what they felt like was a comfortable living. And he stated that, I guess to his kids, that he would say, when they would ask, "Are we rich?" He would say, "We're comfortable." And I don't know if that's just a easy way to lie to your children. Obviously, it's more than comfortable. Billionaires are rich, right? Um, but it was a way to kind of talk to, I guess, a billionaire and see the way that they go through life, I guess. But what really caught me, not by surprise, but definitely I feel like wasn't really the best answer possible, um, in a way, was when this guy asked three times that he was like, "What can you do for us? What's stopping you from changing our life?" And it was just so it was such a great conversation. I don't know if you guys should watch it. It's from Jubilee, and I guess it was the guy from Morgan and Morgan, and it was interesting. I think it's an interesting watch. Um, but yeah, I have some opinions on it, and I would love to be able to post those opinions. But that's the whole reason, kind of, for this video in a way is, you know, I believe I'll becoming a crypto millionaire, a multi crypto millionaire, and I think there are people out there that have the opportunity to do so as well. But it's always about patience. It doesn't come to you overnight. It may happen in years. It might be 5 or 10 years from now before you have that happen, but you have the opportunity to do so. And that's what's very, very interesting. And um, the only thing I guess that scares me is, all of the like hacks and people stealing crypto from people. That's something that bothers me. But because we haven't found the absolute best way to fully secure everything. Um, Even though like banks with your money will kind of do the same thing in a way. Like they hold your money and they're insured up to $250,000 and all that stuff, but still you still worry about it, especially if you have a decent amount in there. But anyways, welcome to this live stream. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, feel free to check out the link in the chat if you guys are interested in signing up for BTCC. Also, I just uh, I just signed up, or a couple of days ago, I just signed up for the Gemini XRP card, and um, I posted that on my credit card channel. And the whole reason why I wanted to sign up for that card was just to be able to gain extra XRP, because most of the cash back I and points I rarely touch. So seeing that you have the opportunity to let me make sure I have the right thing. Seeing you have the opportunity to gain more XRP with just spending, that's something that can honestly sit there and truly be a forever, forever balance. You know what I mean? So it's something that really, really interests me. So I'm gonna post that in the description right below BTCC. And if you guys want to be a part of that, feel free to be a part of that. It does help out because my referral code gives me a bonus, and then you also get like a $200 in XRP bonus when you sign up and I think spend a certain amount within the first 6 months or something like that. I have to go and check it again. But yeah, it's a decent card. I don't like that. um, Those wait, let's go back. First, ninth. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Brandon White. Thank you for being here. Anybody else that's here, good morning to you as well. Again, 51 people here. Make sure you hit the like button. It does help out the channel. Those who will hold will only be the crypto millionaires. I I agree with you. And the reason why I agree with you obviously is because it's it takes patience to become a crypto millionaire. It takes patience to, be successful in the end. And I've noticed that with how long I've been making these moves, how long I've been holding all of these plays that I've had. I rarely sell any plays. There are a few that I took profit from. That I took profit from Terra Luna Classic. I took profit from Swift Coin. I took profit from GME Coin. I'm not taking a crazy amount of profit from everything that I own right now. And it's because there's still a lot left on the table. And while people are waiting it out, while people are looking at this, you have others that are like, I gained enough, right? I gained more than I would have ever dreamed of in the stock market. So then they get out and they do whatever they want with that money. But there's so much more left on the table, especially when you look at the fact that we have not seen altcoin season yet, right? We haven't seen meme coin season yet. I put a video out yesterday talking about like, is meme coin season over? Are we going to see a lot of money flowing into meme coins? And while we are going to see a lot into utility projects, I think meme coin season hasn't happened yet. We've seen a glimpse of it. We've seen a glimpse of altcoin season, but we haven't seen either of those. So patience is key in investing in general. Long-term investments in your, let's say, stock market or dividend portfolio or retirement portfolio, long-term gets you to where you want to be. So for crypto, you can say the same thing, especially if you're invested into the top of the top utility projects. Now, if it's just meme coins, it may be a little bit trickier because you can gain a lot more, but you're also risking a lot more, and it's also more short term. So that's something that you always have to worry about there. But I agree with you. For those who hold, for those who have a exit plan to where they maybe sell a little bit short term, sell more as you go along, but then hold throughout the long term for their forever balance will become multi crypto millionaires. So have a plan, um, be comfortable with that plan, and hopefully you can end up being on top of this crypto ladder, I would say. Um, Again, we got 52 people here, so hit that like button. We got 15 likes. Working graveyard shift. Well, that's I don't know if that sucks or it's good, but maybe you like that. I feel like a lot of times I like being up when nobody else is up. I was up at 4:30 this morning, so I always like to be up. I feel like I get a lot done um, before anybody else is up. Hey, Matt from the UK. Thank you for watching, Chris Jones. I picked up some Quant this week. What is Quant currently sitting at? Let me refresh, duplicate. Uh, I know Quant was over 100 something the last time I checked, so maybe it came down. Quant's at 102 right now. So it was at less than 100 more recently. So when we talk about the fourth yesterday, it was below 100, and right now it's at 102, which I don't think is a bad price at all. I wanted to get it at 46 before, but so that's why I never decided to pick up Quant, because I didn't get it at my price target, which sucked. But either way, you have a lot of potential within Quant. We've seen the growth, we've seen the higher prices. It's at a $1.23 billion market cap with $14 million worth of volume. The volume could definitely pick up a little bit more, but with the low supply of um, 12 million coins, you have a lot of upside here and a lot of movement. And then obviously you can look into more of the use, especially if you're heavy on it. So um, I think Quant is a great play. Um, Honestly, I probably should pick up Quant for, like, say, um, what would say day trading, but it's more swing trading. I don't know if I have any. I don't have any free USDT right now, but I would. I think Quant is available over here at like a 50x leverage. So yeah, it's available at most of, let's see, it's at a 50x leverage, but right now I only have six, three, four, $5 worth of USDT sitting in my wallet that's kind of free. So as the markets start to rise, you start to see the ability to leverage a little bit more. But right now, I still have all of my plays that are sitting here, which, some are negative, some are positive. OKB is still sitting where it is. Terra Luna Classic came up. ADA is sitting at a good spot. That's a 3x leverage. And then two of these 10x leverages are looking decent, as well as Jasmy coins. So hopefully we can see some positivity as time goes on, and we'll be good. But guys, again, we have 63 people here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. It does help out the channel, helps out growth. We have um, I would say the like to view ratio is a little bit low, so feel free to get that to a higher level. I would say 30 to maybe even 50 likes. I hope the Fed cuts rates in September by 50. I mean, I well, yeah. I mean, I was trying to work through a lower rate for my brother's car, and I mean, he obviously has a high rate right now, even with me as a cosigner, which makes no sense whatsoever. But for some reason, they decided, you know what, 14% interest is fine, and I was just like, that's not a thing. So we need to find a way to refinance that. Um, Under, even though you have me who has over an 800 credit score and a lot of money in reserve, they still look at it like, oh, this person should pay that much. So I'm very tempted, if we can't find um, a different place to loan through, I'm very tempted to just pay it off myself, and then I be his bank in a way. But I want to see him go and get, kind of establish better credit as time goes on with paying off a car loan. As you have that and credit cards and all that stuff, you get better credit history. So with me, I can't report that, right? I'm not a bank. So comes back here, top meme coins. I want to look at favorite coins. Let's see. Hey, what's going on? Can we see a 20x on Pepe, in your opinion? Can we see a 20x where Pepe is currently standing? What is it, a 3x or $3 billion market cap? So if we go to meme coins, currently Dogecoin 31 or 32 billion, 7 billion for, let me go ahead and refresh this really quick. We got 4 billion for Pepe. So can we see a 20x, which means that we would see that get to an $80 billion market cap? I don't think it's impossible to get there. My level of what I want to see is more or less around a $40 billion market cap, so around a 10x. But anything honestly can happen. We could see these three plays as the biggest plays in crypto meme coin history, and we see it get to a each one gets to $100 billion market cap plus. So that could always happen. Now, I'm not banking on it because there's no um, wow, it looks like, you know, SHIT coin. I can't say it because, too many of those you get like demonetized and all that stuff. But anyways, 470%. That's fantastic, even after looking at it yesterday. But looking at Pepe and looking at Shiba Inu and looking at Dogecoin, they could be something that's worth a lot more. However, um, it's not something that has utility. It's all about the hype and it's all about where people will sell at. So, um, if that's the case, and you're holding and it's at a 10x gain for you, and let's say you have $1,000 or $10,000, whatever, it's at a 10x gain for you, that looks amazing and feels amazing to have that much. Do you believe that people are going to sell at a level of $40 billion market cap, right? At a 10x? Probably. However, how much hype are we going to see into the crypto market? So that it's like back and forth, right? You can say yes, you can say no, you can say maybe so. Um, my opinion is that I'm looking for a $40 billion market cap, right? Um, $42 billion market cap to be specific, to kind of drop another zero, I believe. Yeah, drop another zero. Well, drop another zero and get to the kind of same level where we are. So if we have five, the zero is nine, um, or drop that zero, four zeros, one, we would then look at three zeros, one, and that's how we would kind of see that level. That would be the price level that I see it at, and I probably will sell my Pepe at, which will be worth I think $40,000, something like that. I don't know, it'd be worth a decent amount. It's not crazy because I don't have a lot of Pepe. But yes, I can see a scenario where a 20x Pepe happens. However, my eyes and my vision is more set on 10x, not 20x. Good morning. Just getting off or just getting off work? How soon for no capital gains tax? I don't know. On US companies, in some countries, individuals pay no capital gains tax. Only in some countries. Countries with conditional or partial capital gains tax exemptions um, consider considerations before relocation, residency requirements, other taxes that are in the country. No capital gains tax, but other taxes often apply, such as income tax, VAT tax, sales tax, or wealth tax, cost of living, citizenship-based taxation. If you are a U.S. citizen, you are subject to U.S. taxes on your worldwide income, regardless of where you live. Other countries may have similar rules for citizens. Interesting. I've never heard of that. If you are a U.S. citizen, you then have to pay um, taxes to the U.S. even if you live outside the U.S. I don't know what those taxes entail, but that's something that's new to me. Again, I'm not a CPA, and I know people that are, and I'm sure they did know that. But yeah, I didn't. I never knew that. Um, it is false that there's no capital gains tax on cryptocurrency in the United States and Internal Revenue Service virtual currency property. So that when you sell, exchange, or use crypto, it's considered a taxable event. U.S. crypto tax rules, capital gain tax, possible exemptions. No. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to do a deeper dive into that. But guys, make sure you hit the like button again. Um, I've been holding Shiba for the past 4 years. Will this help with tax fee when I cash out? So yes, that's the one thing I can say and I can comment on. If you're holding for over a year, not necessarily 4 years. If you're holding for over a year, you have long-term capital gains tax rather than the short-term capital gains tax, as you do have any gains on it. Know that when you do your calculations, depending on where it is, you might have to do the calculations versus, let's say, Coinbase that's doing it. If you've been holding on Coinbase for over a year, and you put in the accurate number where you started, whatever those gains are on the total coins that you have there, or on, let's say, on each coin that you have, that's what you will pay in capital gains tax. So it'll be long term 20% plus state and local. So it'll be maybe a little bit more than that. But if you have any losses, you can also sell those little by little to incur those losses and be able to have a little bit of a benefit in the end, even though you lost. But you know what sucks is the fact that you only have a certain limit to claim for losses, which is stupid because you can gain an unlimited amount of gains, but you can only lose a certain amount. It's like $5,000. I learned important lessons last cycle. Yeah, I think then you get into a waiting period. The issue that you deal with there, right? And I'll say it's an issue because some people now look at it as if they should just sell everything before everything collapses. And while that is great to have an effective time on the market, to sell and get back in at a lower level, do you know what the highest level is and do you know what the lowest level is of this bull market and bear market? The answer to that is no, right? I would assume, in my opinion, that you will see a 50%, no more than 50% drop in the bear market unless we see even more things that are happening for, let's say, ETFs, for crypto in general, for use cases and all that stuff, for consistency and traditionalists getting into the market. Then we could see less of a drop, even less of a drop than 50%, 40%, 30% in the bear market. So what is the lowest point, right? But also, what is the highest point? If XRP's highest point is $20, then you're looking at a $6 drop, right? You're looking at maybe at most a $10 drop, but it's down to $10, right? That's still higher, way higher than where we are today, than where you started. So you could take that risk to go, I want to sell my XRP here. It goes down to $10. You then reinvest all that money and now you have more XRP for the next bull run. So you can then take that risk like people did with Bitcoin, where Bitcoin was at $2,000. They see it go up to 20,000. They sell that, get back in at 2,000. Then it goes up to $60,000. They sell at those levels. It gets down to 17. They buy back in. It's a way of timing the market to give yourself more in the end, not necessarily to just profit. If you believe in something like a Bitcoin that has the potential to go to $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1,000,000, right? Now you can look at those and go, all right, what are the highs and lows of these levels, right? What is the peak point of the crypto market? I'm going to sell there. Then you wait it out and it's like, what is the low point of the crypto market? Then you buy back in at those levels. That is the toughest thing to do because you never really know what are those lows and what are those highs, right? So it's so tricky because everybody wants to just go, it's so easy. I've seen it in the past. This is what Bitcoin did and this is what I could have done. Well, you didn't. and you're probably not going to do it again because that money and what you've gained looks really, really good. Same thing goes for XRP. If I gain, $3 million from XRP, why would I want to just go, oh, you know what? I'll reinvest that $3 million, the whole amount that I made. I'll reinvest all of it. Well, you can't because now you have to pay taxes on that money. So most likely you're going to have to give up, 20 to 50%. So now you can't reinvest at that level. But you could still take the million or 1.5 million, 2 million, and then put it back in there and take that risk. But that's totally up to you and what you want to do. So I always struggle with that because there are people that have done that in the past. They bought Bitcoin, they've held it for the longest time. There are people that have done both, right? Where they held Bitcoin and just continue to average into it. Every time it hit a low, they average into it. Every time it hit a midpoint, they average into it. If it's at a high point, they let it go, right? And they just continue to see it grow and continue to add more Bitcoin as the different bull markets happen. And they're most likely multi-millionaires at this point. But then there's those other people that time the market effectively and are multi millionaires, maybe tens of millions of dollars, by finding highs, selling, and then buying back in at lows. But then there's also people that tried that and lost a lot of money and felt as though, oh, I'm down $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this play and just take my winnings, right? And while that's fine, you kind of didn't give it the opportunity to grow, the patience, right? So I don't know. Stuck between a rock and a hard place on what I'm truly going to do after it reaches the peak. Maybe if I find that it gets to a really, really low point, then I could find a place to reinvest and get the same amount of XRP that I had while still having a lot of gains left over. But we'll see. We will see. Big Matt, what's up? XRP has seemed quiet lately. I hope I'm just not up to date as I thought. Yeah, there hasn't been like a crazy amount of information, but things are happening behind the scenes. The issue is that since XRP is not running, there's not many people that are like, oh, this is what's happening with XRP right now. This is a live stream related to XRP. All of these things that are XRP focused because XRP is running. So it feels like you don't see as much search results, as much hype, as many articles because they go based on where the crypto market has most of its interest, and I do as well. A lot of times I'll just talk about becoming a crypto millionaire, or even yesterday talking about meme coins and Jasmy coin and CRO and all of these things that I'm a big fan of. Whether I get 1,000 views or I get 10,000 views, I don't care. I'm not really in it for the views at this point. I feel like I gain majority of my revenue from other places rather than just YouTube. Um, but it's still great to see that revenue number increase. I'm not gonna lie. It's still great to see, that at like 10,000 or 20,000 in a month. It's fantastic. Um, and it gives you a little bit of breathing room in areas that you feel like you don't have to pull from. And then you also have investing funds to kind of move forward with. So but anyways, yeah, that's probably why. Like you're just not seeing a lot of XRP videos because there's not much news that's happening until it starts running or some sort of big news happens. Mainly the hype recently has been more around CRO, has been around Yeezy Money Coin, or from what we're seeing, some of these other meme coins that are, you know, SHIT coin. Um, Arrow Recovery didn't miss it, lads. Still very cheap. Um, Prepare for blast off. I made a really nice profit from Leva Protocol yesterday. Well, what did it do? Did it do a decent size increase? I don't know what that is though. Is it Leva or Leva? Leva? It's currently at a $4.4 million market cap. When you say decent profit, how much was that profit? Because at a $4.4 million market cap with $6 million worth of volume to market cap ratio looks really, really good on that. Not going to show it at the moment because it is still a decently low priced position, but you got 18 different trading pairs that are out there. Half of the supply is in circulation. It is self-reported, so it's not something that you can like fully trust there, but it is again on crypto.com and some top tier exchanges there. So um, that's good. Over 7 days, it's up 125%. Over the last month, it's up 162%. The last year, it's down or it's up 24, 25%. And in all history, back from April of 2025, it is up 25.7%. So in the last 7 days, it's looked really, really good, up 125%. That's fantastic. I don't know what it is and whether you see it growing a lot more, whether it's going to be something that's highly valuable. But I always like to take risks and take chances. So sitting at a $4.4 million market cap, if you see something more within it, uh, let me know, and we can always, if you see them talking about it more and it's going to be involved in more and more places, please let me know, and we can do a little bit more research to kind of get involved with that because the volume to market cap ratio looks good compared to what the market cap is right now, meaning that it could have a decent amount of hype and a decent amount of attention that builds along as we see it grow. It's only at a $4 million market cap. I wanna find one of those plays that I can get in at a single digit market cap and see it grow to multiple hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. That would be phenomenal because a $4 billion market cap to a $400 million market cap, you're looking at a 100x on that. So a $1,000 ticket on that could turn to $100,000 in more of a short period of time. And while you will be taxed short term on it, you can gain a heck of a lot. Take 50% of that, $50,000 off of your $1,000 investment. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, but it's great to see growth there in the last 7 days. Um, are you heavily invested into, or you took all of your profit, Brandon? I'm stacking up FLR while it's at 2 cents. Already stacked XRP. I think FLR is a sleeping giant. Your thoughts? Let me see what that is. Is it Flare? Yes. I was just making sure that it wasn't something else. But Flare is currently sitting at a $1.5 billion market cap with $6.6 million worth of volume. That's not something that I like to see. But then again, you're not seeing a crazy amount of volume everywhere. So it might not be something that you really have to say, oh, it's not seeing enough volume. This definitely isn't enough. It's 0.4% of the market cap with $6.6 million worth of volume. It does have the ability to be bought on places like Coinbase, OKX, MEXC, crypto.com exchange, Kraken and all of that. I think Flare can definitely have a decent size increase, especially with all of the top tier exchanges that you do have, an S tier exchange, multiple tier one exchanges, availability in the U.S. and people looking at it and going, oh, you know what? We're not seeing much movement into this. We definitely will in the future. You know what I mean? So when we look at the history, in the last month, it's down 11%. In the last year, it's up by 36%. All history, we see it down 74%. Um, and all history really goes back to 2023. So you haven't really seen any type of bullish momentum or bullish time period for this play, meaning that you still have that in the cards. So what is this going to be? From 4 cents down to 2 cents, are we going to see this get to a multiple? And maybe the market cap was a lot less because you had less supply. So was it a $500 million market cap versus the continuous increase in the overall market cap here, meaning that they added supply throughout. Now, does this mean that majority of the supply is out there because the total supply is 103 billion? Or is there going to be a level where this max supply can increase, or is that a set number? That's some questions that I would have there. So, I mean, with all of these questions that I have, I hate having so much like so many open ended questions to where if I was looking to buy and I was like an outside source, um, or an outside opinion, which I technically am right now, and I was just like, all right, I'm looking for a play. Honestly, I would be very honest. This is not something that I would look as a confirmed play. However, it can have some decent potential as you see it move forward. You can see the consistency in the growth of the market cap. It's just with the price and how that has fluctuated with the supply adding. That's probably a little bit of a problem for me. But again, there's positives and negatives to everything, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm downing anybody's play. It's just not a play that I would buy and hold for a long time. I would like to see a lower market cap, especially if I'm starting. Have you seen the new tax rules with the extra money some people will get? I think it will extend the bull run, or a second top can happen in 2026. So I think 2026 we will see a peak point. I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about a second top, but I think that will be the first peak and the only peak that we end up seeing. I don't know if it'll fully extend the bull run, but no, I didn't see these new tax rules and where people get extra money, people that are getting extra money. I don't know. Usually they'll find something positive to do with it when it comes to investing. And you've seen a lot of people do that when it came to like stimulus checks. They invested it and they made decent amounts of money. Some people lost money because they treated it as a gamble when it should never be treated as a gamble. But and then some people that actually gambled it ended up making money, throughout the life of Dogecoin and Shiba Inu and some of these bets that are truly memes. Like they were able to see gains, and that's great. But in the first or second quarter, yeah, I think it's going to be end of second quarter or so. In my country, there is no long-term capital gains tax. It's just 22% tax on crypto, no matter how long you held it. That's fantastic. That's great. Um, for us, it's a different story. It also depends state by state, um, where you have a state and local that could be massive, like California, where um, you may end up paying 50 to 60% when it's all said and done, especially for short term. Uh, and that honestly sucks. I always try and hold 50% for taxes, even though sometimes and a lot of times I know it's a long term play, and that'll just give me freedom to then say, once I do pay taxes, now I'm like, I have this much money left over to invest elsewhere. It just makes me feel a little bit better after taxes, because when you pay, let's say with businesses, you pay quarterly. With all these gains, you don't. But um, let's say you do pay a decent amount in the end, where it's like you're paying $100,000, but then you have, or 200 or 300 or $1 million, whatever, right? It could be half your money. um, it makes you feel a little bit better to know that you have something extra. It's like, oh, I thought I was going to pay $500,000. You only paid $200,000. You now have $300,000 to throw anywhere that you want. It makes you feel better about paying $200,000 to the government, right? If I get it beforehand, I feel great now. But then once I do pay taxes, then I'm like, all my money's gone, right? I don't know. That's just the way that I feel. You give us hope, brother. Well, thank you for saying that. Honestly, it's not about. I figure I give you guys a second and third opinion, maybe a fourth opinion, depending on some people. And sometimes those opinions can mean a lot. Like they can mean the world to somebody. Just to kind of clarify. It's like, where do you see XRP going, or are you still holding XRP? What am I doing? Like, you need those opinions, and giving you that, feels great, and also receiving that. I need a second opinion. I need a third opinion. I need validation. Um, Even though I know I'm going to hold it, I know what my plan is. It's just always great to hear the validation, to hear, that people see the success in some of these cryptocurrencies that we talk about. You know what I mean? Um, it's always great to see that. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Joey Rez. Thank you for being here. Last pump incoming. DW, my six figure losses will offset my capital gains taxes for the next decade of my life. Well, yeah, as long as you realize those within the year. And if it starts getting better, it starts getting better. Wait, is that's honestly a tax question that I don't know the answer to. If you realize $100,000, can you decide to, um, offset those capital gains for years to come if you took it in 10 years prior, basically? Um, because I would love to be able to do that and know that, honestly, and I think that's something that I can ask either a CPA or even ask Google. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax professional. I know the basic level of taxes as well as some crypto taxes, but um, I feel like that's a decent and honestly standard question. Um, some good movements for XVM today. Finally, what is XVM? Um, XV. Oh, I put N. I don't know what XVM is because it doesn't come up with anything. XCN, XDC to $1. You think all of those are going to $1? Luckily, you're not Canadian. Uh, his name, his name is Clear Value Tax on YouTube. Oh yeah, I've watched him a lot. He used to talk about stimulus checks, and I used to talk about stimulus checks as well. Obviously, he got way more views. I think he had a few videos that had millions of views, and it's because of his delivery. I think his delivery was just different than anybody else. And I've watched a few of his videos. I haven't watched any recently, um, but yeah, I've seen him. Ripple invested heavy into Flare, around $100 million, and there's a ton of things behind the scenes going on with Flare and XRP. I think it's because of this. Flare has a wonderful future ahead of it. That's a good point. I didn't know that, but that's a good point. Um, if you do see that, and see a long partnership and future with Ripple, that could propel it a lot further than where it currently stands. So that's good to know. Matt, have you talked about Mana? I haven't talked about it recently. I think I've talked about it one time because of the oh shoot, what am I doing here? Um, because of the metaverse like side of things and where things stand. I think that a lot of people, when it comes to metaverse plays, um, a lot of people kind of pushed it aside, especially for this bull run because of the more focus on like AI rather than focusing on a kind of the metaverse side of things and this universe, even though I still feel like there will be a situation where, or multiple situations where you have this metaverse that people are buying property or visiting places like Disneyland in, and metaverses aren't going away. I just think you will have, um, right now, you have a lot of interest in these other sectors that can also partner with places or projects like Mana and businesses like, Metaverse businesses like a Meta, you know, um, which is Facebook technically. So yeah, I don't see Metaverse is falling off completely. I see them kind of stalling a little bit, but then still having the hype and attention as we move along, as the years go along, and everything will kind of come together. It's like when you build stairs, right? You're building stairs. You have the different stringers, right? And as you put those stringers together, it all comes together. You put, um, your wood on top of it, your actual steps on top of it, and you continue until you make um, a full set of stairs. It'll all come together. When you make food, you make a recipe, it only comes together once you have everything involved with it and you put it together the right way. So I think that's kind of where we will go with metaverses, with um, AI, and everything there. So yeah, I don't have many metaverse plays. I think I only had ApeCoin. I don't know if I still have it. I should. The video was uploaded 2 days ago. He gave an in-depth view of what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll have to look at it. How often does he upload nowadays? It has to be like maybe a few times a day, one time a day, one time a week. I know he gets still hundreds of thousands or even millions of views with this. Um, I know he gets more money from YouTube than he does from uh, being what is he, a CPA, from his regular job. Just like some other people, I've seen people that have been financial experts that were also lawyers, and now they have millions of followers and millions of subscribers, and now they make way more money here than they ever did over there. And now they don't work that job and they only give out this advice and continue to get that education for this either advice or tips or anything there. And it's good. It's great to see it. Um, More people or reaching more people is always a great thing. But then still having your business on the side is also good as well. I think one of the clearest thinkers on these platforms. Thank you, Matt. You think I'm one of the clearest thinkers on these platforms? Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I try my best. What about Bonk? I like Bonk. It is a meme coin, so you always have to look at it as such. So know that people are trying to sell after making a certain amount, or they're trying to hit a certain price. So if that's the case, you have to treat it as if someone may sell underneath you, but at certain prices, right? You're not going to go, oh, they're going to sell at, at a 20% gain here. It's like, no, you're going to see more than that. But what are the levels where majority of people will sell rather than what levels can it hit based on the use that it has? Because Bonk is a meme coin. It does have action to it that helps the Solana chain, but still, it's a meme coin at heart. If you reinvest profit, is it taxable? Yes. Every transaction that you make is technically a taxable event. So, again, I'm not going to give you tax advice, but from a basic level, um, if you decide to sell it and you make $1,000 profit, total was 2,000, you made $1,000 profit. That $1,000 that you made in profit is taxable. So you're gonna have to pay taxes on that, whether that's short term or long term, and then you could reinvest whatever the gains are. It's not treated like a business to where if you decide to, let's say you sell a service, and that service is to um, provide you with YouTube videos, and I now decide to put any of these gains that I had back into the business. Like, let's say I made $10,000 worth of profit in my business. I could then take that $10,000 and buy products for the business. And as long as it is considered for my business, and I use it to generate revenue, then you basically can kind of fight off that profit that you did have, um, or offset that profit that you did have. So, but for a cryptocurrency or investments that you have, that's not, you can't just put that back into your business because it's an investment, right? You're making money off of that, and that's the primary goal of what you were looking to do, is to make money off that investment. So again, I'm not going to give you tax advice, but I know that for sure that I can't just go, oh, I'm going to reinvest this money and now it's not taxable. No, it is. Um, Thank you for what you were doing. I have a question. Have you heard about Doge 20 or no? Have I heard about Doge 20? I think I have. Pretty sure. I hear about a lot of different things and I talk about a lot of different things. I also get sponsorships for a lot of different, projects and whatnot. And not necessarily telling people, hey, you need to buy it, but more or less telling people to check things out. So it sounds familiar. I want to say it sounds familiar. But I've never really been the biggest fan of like trying to like finding something that's similar to something else. If you have a Dogecoin and have a Doge 2.0 or have a Doge 20 or have a Doge whatever, I'm not really the biggest fan of plays like that because I know that the max that it could ever get is to wherever Dogecoin is, and I know that the likelihood of it getting to what Dogecoin is and where Dogecoin is unlikely because it will always be tied to whatever Dogecoin is doing so long as it stays valid and all the holders and believers kind of push it the same way Dogecoin is pushed. So I'll say I'll say this: you can find value and you can find growth in anything that you have, but I always try and find the next play, not something that's similar to an old play. Do you know what I mean? Or at least kind of rides the coattails of those other plays, right? I'm not looking for those. I'm looking for something that's brand new. Like if I have a Dogecoin and I'm like, I want another meme coin, I'll probably go to a Pepe, right? I'll probably go to a dog with hat. I'll probably go to a Bonk or something like that. But I won't go to a a Dogecoin or Dogecoin like position unless I know for sure from what I'm looking at, I know for sure that this is going to run to a ridiculous level. Then I'm like, all right, well the goal is to profit out of that, profit that, put it somewhere else, and going about my day. But there's never been sure things in my book. Volt XVM is the Volt XVM is the Solana ecosystem, up 35% overnight. That's great. That's great as it's running in the Solana ecosystem. I don't see it, but that's fine. If you're making money off of things, I'm all for it. I'm happy for you. Have you already given your personal insights on Jasmy? I haven't talked about Jasmy today. I haven't even seen where Jasmy coin is. I'm still sitting on my 1 million. It's currently sitting at a 1.4 cent level. If we look at um, the last year, or sorry, let's look at the last day. Today, it's up by 1%. In the last 7 days, it's up by, or sorry, down by 3%. Last month, down by 1.7%. The last year, it's down by 21%. We've seen this at a high point of 6 cents. I think it still has that in it. So currently, if you wanted to get another million, it would be $14,000. I invested at 40% of a penny. If it found a way to come back down to that point, I would gladly accept buying more, especially at this stage and where I am. because I know that Jasmy coin is going to be worth a lot more, and as we move along, we will see further and further growth. The issue that people have with Jasmy is the fact that you have barely any news, nobody talking about it, not even the CEO coming out and going, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is the plan. This is where we're going." Like, we don't have much information and much news that's happening, and that's where people will go, "Oh, well, you know what? Jasmy Coin's dead. Jasmy Coin just doesn't have the hype. You might as well get out of that play." And that's not necessarily the case. I think, it has so much more left on the table, and these are the times where um, you potentially have a chance to buy into a play that has the massive growth that we believe it's going to have, multiple billions of dollars worth of a market cap, um, and be able to benefit in the end. But most people will wait for it to run and then they will invest. And that's what you see here, right? They waited for it to run. It was at 1.6 cents and they waited for it to run. When it did, it got to 2 cents. They weren't late, but then you had more people that were waiting, more people that were waiting. They were like, you know what? I still don't believe it. If it gets past 3 cents, we'll see it run. Then they decided to buy and continue to buy. And now maybe they're at a loss at these points. And now you have to see the negativity for the long period of time, just like I saw negativity and many others that invested at during the time where I bought saw negativity for a short period of time. Um, and then you started seeing that pickup. You started seeing getting to a point where you have 1 million and it's worth $60,000. You have a 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, whatever. So um, I still have a lot of belief in Jasmy Coin, and I could put out some other videos about it, but there's not really much news out there. Many things that are happening right now. Guys, we have 81 people that are here. If you could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. We got about 40 minutes to this live stream because I got to get the kids ready for school, and then we'll upload some other stuff. If you guys want to take some time to check out my other channels, I have a more stock related channel um, where you guys can check that out. Let me go ahead and switch accounts here. So if you go to my channel, if you go to my main channel and bring it up, you're gonna scroll down here and you'll go to different channels that I'm associated with. I have my sports media channel where I just kind of go through like golf videos and basketball. If I'm ever playing a different sport, or Harper or Hayden are playing a sport, we will obviously post that there and have that as a thing for a very long time. But I have my stock related channel if you want to check that out, where I just talked about some plays that I'm making, some dividend plays that I am looking to invest into, and then also my credit card channel. If you guys want to check that out, where the last video that I talked about, or one of my videos I talked about, was the XRP credit card. This is something that I'm super interested in and obviously have already applied to, and already am transferring different bills to, so that I can gather XRP and just let it sit there as forever XRP. Be pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to check out my credit card channel, feel free to go ahead and look at that. I want to upload a lot more on there because I do like credit cards, and you can have benefits from them so long as you use them the right way. Um, I have about half of what you have of Jasmy. I keep dollar cost averaging it every day, and it keeps dumping. I don't plan on selling anytime soon. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like you're not going to see it short term. There's a chance you could see it short term for depending when you invest into it. um, but with any investment, it's about having the patience, right? And a lot of times it will take um, sometimes months, sometimes years, um, to fully take off, fully make these
Peter
moves.
Trifolo donated $4.99 through Super Chat.
Thank you for that super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. It's about patience in any investment. You know, whether it's in the stock market, it's in the crypto market, it's in real estate market, it's about patience. I know many people that are impatient and they go, I'm going to buy this property and I want to flip it immediately. And it's like, yeah, you could do that and you can make maybe $10,000, but then you also don't know what underlying details you have. So now you might have to have a longer timeline, right? Owning a property. You might have to have a longer timeline owning Jasmy coin. You might have to have a longer timeline owning ETFs. Um, and I've seen that recently with my dividend investing portfolio. My dividend investing portfolio is only up 10% over the last 2 years, which is still great or still good, but it's not the best that it could be, right? If you invested into the S&P 500 and put all that money into there, you would have been able to gain 20% over the last 2 years, plus percent, 20 plus percent. Um, if you invested into some of these heavily technology focused ETFs, you would have been able to gain 24, 27, maybe even closer to 30% in the last 2 years. Like, it's about being patient because while I've gained 10%, these are different sectors. And yes, I need to have more involved in technology. I talked about that in some videos. But patience will get you to where you want to go. You're still seeing gains. It's all about patience. I'm kind of tired. Waking up this early sometimes, it kind of sucks sometimes, but it's also good. Again, you you get so much time to where people are not awake and nobody's messaging you. I'm not getting any calls. I'm not getting any messages um, until people wake up or a normal time to contact people is upon us, like 7 to 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock. Um, yeah. So guys, hit that like button if you can. We got 81 people that are here, 69 or 70 likes. So feel free to hit the like button. It does help out. Again, thank you for that super chat. What's going on in crypto today? So some of the biggest crypto news today, top crypto news highlights. Bitcoin Treasury milestone. Corporate holdings of Bitcoin have reached a significant milestone exceeding 1 million BTC. That's amazing. Considering how much BTC is out there, that's amazing to see that 1 million BTC um, as kind of reach that holdings for, or sorry, that level for crypto holdings, or corporate holdings. Sorry. Um, Ethereum ETF face outflows. Ethereum spot ETFs experienced substantial net outflows of September 4th, with Fidelity, um, FETH seeing the largest outflow, while BlackRock's ETH-A recorded inflows. So I think for ETFs, this is something that I think individual ETFs, and I said this plenty of times, I think individual ETFs are not the best thing for crypto consistency, right? If you're looking for consistency, if you're looking for um, that like traditionalists to get involved into cryptocurrency for that massive growth that we can see in the crypto sector, you need an all-encompassing thing. You need a blue chip crypto ETF. You need multiple ETFs that kind of highlight different sectors of the market. While it could be the top 25, and that will be the best ETFs to own, it could be a Vanguard crypto ETF, and then all of a sudden you have the top 25 ETFs that are being invested into there, where you have 60% that's Bitcoin or 50% that's Bitcoin, and then everything else that flows through different altcoins, or it could be less, right? Um, which really does flow with the market. And then it creates more consistency where a lot of people have that, and you see majority of crypto that's being held by, some of these firms, which wouldn't necessarily be the best thing for anybody that's looking to trade short term, but it would give us more of a consistent route. You know what I mean? But then trying to make these same level of gains that we're making, all that we're going to make now and we're going to make for the future, um, it's going to be less likely to happen, right? For those people that are looking for a 1000% gain out of nowhere, you could find that with a position every single day. But for anybody that's now investing into it, you're going to look at, when you see these all-encompassing ETFs, you're going to see that 5 to 10% growth is going to be standard per day, and then you're going to see that it goes down 1%, 2% when everything hits the highest level of consistency we can. So um, while it while it is something that can really mess with Ethereum's price, really mess with Bitcoin's price, eventually it will be something that doesn't have as much pull, because the outflows are, we're still seeing the same percentages that are invested into some of these or all of these cryptocurrencies from the firms. A Dogecoin ETF potential. First Dogecoin ETF in the US could launch as early as next week, according to Bloomberg analysts, following an effective um, filing. Okay, so I I'm not the biggest fan of that, but if it happens, it happens. That'll be great for Dogecoin and Dogecoin investors. Trump's family crypto ventures under scrutiny. Concerns are rising regarding the Trump family's growing involvement in cryptocurrency, particularly with the trading debut of WLFI token linked to a Trump affiliate firm, and potential conflicts of interest surrounding the presidency. U.S. regulatory focus on crypto. The SEC has unveiled its plan to revamp crypto policies and potentially ease rules for Wall Street, while the CFTC approved um, Polymarket's new exchange, QCX, stablecoin adoption and development. Fireblocks launched a new payment network to facilitate institutional stablecoin payments, while China is reportedly considering yen-backed stablecoins to boost its global um, currency usage. Ripple expansion or expanding stable coin presence. Ripple is looking to expand and the adoption of its dollar-backed stablecoin RLUSD, particularly in Africa, through new partnerships. What are those new partnerships? I could bring up the link. We can bring up all links, but I don't see that story. Bitcoin's price continues to fluctuate. These are other notables. Bitcoin's price continues to fluctuate, trading around 111,000, with traders closely watching upcoming U.S. jobs data. A report from the SEC revealed the loss of former SEC Chair Gary Gensler's text messages due to technical failure. Yeah, North Korea, North Korean hackers are using fake job offers to steal cryptocurrency. That's not great. Coinbase CEO reveals that 40% of the company's code is AI generated. I don't know if that's a good thing at all. But going back to the North Korean hackers, honestly, for where I stand here today, I'm so um, weary, and the way that I look at QR codes and links and anything, I don't click anything anymore. Like, I honestly don't. If somebody sends me an email, I could care less what you're sending me. If there's a link involved with it, I'm not clicking it. I don't care what it is. if there's a QR code, it could be a Coinbase a Coinbase ad, and then they have a QR code. I'm not scanning it. People that some guy gave me a business card with a QR code on it. I'm not scanning it. Like I'm not do I literally was going through Gemini. I went through the website and it said I needed to, you know, link my pin for what's it called for the browser, and I'm not scanning it. I don't care. Like I'm not dealing with anything like that. Unless I know for sure what I'm doing is fully secured and I need to scan it in order to maybe link my wallet, um, or something, or kind of tie my wallet to my new phone that I got, then it's a different story. But I'm rarely scanning anything because these hackers and people that are taking stuff, it's just it's here. And while you're being patient, that patience could take a lot away from you in the end, because you might end up making one simple mistake, and that one simple mistake could turn into the most devastating mistake you could ever have. So I don't care. Not scanning anything. European Central Bank is promoting a digital euro as essential for payment and security inclusive. That is a snapshot, okay, of what's going on in the crypto world. So yeah, any XRP news as well. A lot of what I see in XRP news is more towards price related information. XRP stuck in a downward trend, but three data points forecast 85% bounce to new highs. The XRP community explores based Eggman streaming token pre-sale. You sure about that? Sunny Mining introduces free XRP cloud mining app amid market turbulence. We're going to take XRP to new heights, says Flare founder. Oh, there we go. You got some information on Flare. So let's see more about that. That's coming from the Crypto Basic. He was doubling down on his commitment to unlocking billions of XRP liquidity through DeFi integration, taking XRP to new heights. In a tweet on Thursday, Philion? Am I saying it? Philion? Said his team is going to take XRP to new heights. A statement builds on the company's longstanding mission to transform XRP into a yield-bearing asset. He highlighted XRP as the core asset and Flare as the enabling token. Notably, this positions Flare as the missing link between XRP and decentralized finance. Notably, Philion's latest statement comes on the back of a series of announcements made this year. In March, he revealed that Flare was preparing low-risk staking opportunities for XRP holders, allowing them to secure services across multiple ecosystems and earn rewards with minimal validator risk. By June, the concept had evolved into Firelight, a liquid staking protocol that enables XRP holders to wrap tokens into FXRP and mint XRP for STXRP, STXRP for use in DeFi. Institutions quickly took notice. For instance, Vivo Power committed $100 million in XRP. Meanwhile, Uphold joined as a key launch partner. Yield opportunities emerge. In August, the details of Firelight's potential yields came to light. I see what they did there. Speaking with, let me see if I'm not even showing you guys. Speaking with Scott Melker, Melker, Philion, and Centora, CTO Jesus Rodriguez, revealed that XRP could generate an annual return of 4 to 7% through Firelight, for an asset that has historically offered no yield. This represents a breakthrough. They designed a system to remain non custodial um, and decentralized, avoiding the risk. What in the world is going on there? Is that a cat or a dog? Avoiding the risk of investors witness with centralized exchanges with wrapped XRP secured on Flare representing the STXRP holders. What is that? STXRP holders can participate in lending, borrowing, and even minting stablecoins similar to Ethereum's MakerDAO model. XR expanding beyond cross-border payments. XRP has long faced criticism. Um, so yeah, we can. I'll probably go through that maybe in another. I feel like that's something that um, is huge for XRP, and I think needs to be talked about more. But cats be going crazy. I know. Well, I don't even think it's the cats. I think it's our dog Emmy that's constantly chasing the cats, and then you know she'll. And what's crazy is Spencer will just stand there, like he'll just sit there while Emmy is just like kind of nibbling at his face, like not even like where Emmy is trying to like bite them. She's just like you know how you have that one person in life that just tries to continue to poke the bear in a way. Um, and then eventually Spencer snaps and he's like, just get off me. And he starts using his claws. And then Emmy will yip. She'll she'll get scratched in the eye or something. She'll yip, she'll walk away or run away, and then she'll just come back and do it again. I'm like, what why haven't you learned anything? Just learn something from the situation. Realize that they don't want you to do that. And I know you're just trying to play, but you're too old for that anyways. She's like 9. So actually she's only 8. But still, I think that's like 50 years old in dog years. Anyways, let's see what's happening in the markets overall. But that's very interesting reading that about Flare. And, maybe I'll bring that up in another video so that, it we talk about Flare a little bit more. I don't have it, and I probably won't have it because I'm not in the market to buy anything at the moment. But it could still provide a lot of growth for Flare investors, which is fantastic. But um, we will talk about that at a later date. Bring up XRP, or we'll talk about that at a later time. Maybe it's today that we talk about it, but we'll see. Um, So let's get an update on where the total crypto market is for right now, and then also some of my favorite plays and where they stand. So currently, the crypto market stands at a $3.86 trillion market cap. Fear and Greed Index is at 41. Altcoin season is at 51. I don't know why it's there, because where is Bitcoin's dominance? I feel like Bitcoin's dominance is still in the same spot. How do I check Bitcoin's dominance now? I feel like I can't. Um, you let me know because I know they made this update and I have no idea how to check Bitcoin's dominance somewhere. Whatever. But we're at a $3.86 trillion market cap. We're also seeing that Bitcoin is up slightly by 1.28%. Ethereum is slightly down. XRP is slightly down, but still at around the $3 price point, $2.84. BNB is slightly up. A lot of things are either slightly up or slightly down. Chainlink is down by 2%. Anything that's notable? Not really. Not really. If we want to look at what's down the most, meme core is down by, or sorry, is up by 38%. In the last 7 days, it's up by 255%. Pump has been pumping. It's up by 9%, up by 37% in the last 7 days. Mantle, XDC, um, OK or OKB is up as well. H bar, things that are down the most. You got Athena that's down by 5%. Chainlink that's down by 2%. You got Aave that's down by 4%. But we just want to see some major movements here. If we look at my position, some of my favorite positions that I have, it looks like Beam is up the most. Why is this not updating? Because some of them are up by 3%, and it says Beam is up by that much. So Beam is up by 2.6%. Bonk is up by 2.6%. Swiftcoin about 2.5%. OKB 2.5%. So yeah, a lot of things that are positive. Got some things that are negative. With GameStop being one of those, it's down by 7%. So yeah, I mean that's where things stand. I think that's going to be it for the live stream today. We went through some of the biggest news. Bitcoin's dominance is at 58%. Red daily candle. Bitcoin's dominance is at 58%. Where are you seeing the dominance though? Because I have no way of figuring that out as of right now. But either way, Bitcoin's dominance being at 58% is not a reason to say that this is at altcoin season, or at 51 for altcoin season. I don't think we're there yet. What's the breakdown of what makes that kind of altcoin season? Is the amount of money that's going into it? Yearly high, it looked like it was 87 on the altcoin scale. Yearly low, 12. Some of the best performing cryptos over the past 90 days. OKB, that's up a massive amount. I have that in my possession. That's great. CRO, I also have that in my possession. I don't have the link, but that's good to know. I've never really looked at that. Some least performing cryptocurrencies: Trump, Fartcoin, Render, Quant, Whiff, Dot, Cass. Huh. And Cass is sitting at 8 cents. So yeah, TradeView, Bitcoin dominance chart. Okay, so they just don't have that on CoinMarketCap anymore. But that's fine. Maybe they do, and I just don't know where it is. Because I like to look at everything on here. But guys, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. Make sure you check out my link for BTCC in the chat, or my link for the XRP Gemini credit card. If you guys want to, make purchases and get XRP back, go ahead and do that. But make sure you're paying off your credit card. Don't make a huge purchase and then not be able to pay it off. Like, make sure that you're using it for bills and bills only, not for all of these other things that you would end up using credit cards for, debit cards for. Use it for bills. And then oh, I have this money to pay off. And you pay off that and you get XRP. You get XRP immediately once you make the purchase, which is great. I currently have gained in the last day, I've gained 6 XRP, but I can't gain any more because it has a spending cap on it until I tap the card or insert the card. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. And I'll catch you guys